Having a safe, warm and comfortable home is important for us all, especially as winter approaches. But it can be a matter of life and death for someone with a lifelong, life-limiting condition like cystic fibrosis, especially if they're living in poverty. Damp, mould, poor ventilation and a shortage of money for food, heating and transport to hospital appointments are a cocktail of despair for people with the condition. Winter is a stressful, frightening time for people with CF and their families, physically, mentally and financially. That's why the Cystic Fibrosis Trust needs your support to ensure what happened to me and my daughter can't happen to anyone else. I'm Rita. My 3-year-old daughter Asra has cystic fibrosis. This time last year, I was taking her to supermarkets to escape the cold and the damp of our rented room. We shared a house with 15 other people, and flies, maggots, fleas and rats. The smell of sewage was constant, but the landlord didn't care. He even cut off our heating and water in the middle of the winter. And I still have nightmares where we're sleeping in our coats because it is so cold. I had to ask our neighbours to store Asra's medication because it would go off due to the humidity in our house. A few times Asra went without because we couldn't access it. Asra developed a skin condition, a constant cough and suffered regular tummy bugs. She was always being sick and I was heavily pregnant. And when the landlord found out, they issued us with an eviction notice. Our furniture and belongings were destroyed by mould, but the final straw was when we was chased by a fox that had gotten in through a broken window. We were terrified. At first, the frustration of failing to access a social worker to guide me through the social housing system maze was so great that I considered ending it all, but I knew I had to keep fighting. Then someone mentioned the Cystic Fibrosis Trust Helpline. Throughout a further year of challenges, the Cystic Fibrosis Trust gave us an emergency grant and a supporting letter for our rehousing application. Their team were always there to listen and provide emotional support. Only their backing made sure that me, Asra and my new baby are now living somewhere worthy of the name home. The future looks so much brighter for us now. That was Rita's story, but it could have been mine. I'm Carly, I have CF and I'm a mum to a young child. This is the reality for many people in my community. Her harrowing ordeal isn't unusual. And that's why specialist support from people who understand CF is so important to people living with the condition. We know not all people with CF are able to get the support they need from a psychologist or a social worker. We need the government to do more to address the challenges of the cost of living crisis and ensure CF clinics are fully staffed and financially supported so people with CF can get the right care at the right time. We won't stop until everyone can live without the limits of cystic fibrosis.